The internet has gone recently with Vladimir Putin's closest bodyguard, Anton Afinogenov, and made him viral for one most key important reason. But there are 2,000 plus members in the Federal Protective Service, and among them, approximately 33 specific bodyguards have been identified as accompanying him on trips. But why particularly is he in our list? Well, in a world where security has become a key critical issue, and in many parts where leaders can depend less on their closest personnel, how this man Vladimir Putin simply relies on his self-confident and fierce-looking bodyguards. The question is, how reliable is he? How reliable are Putin's other elite security guards? Putin just relies on them hand to hand, while even his old friends are not trusted this much. Well, who is Anton Afinogenov? Anton Afinogenov is one of Vladimir Putin's closest personal bodyguards, regularly seen standing just behind or beside the Russian president during foreign trips and high-risk events. Interestingly, very little official information about him exists online, because people in his role operate under deep confidentiality. What we know very clearly are the procedural matters of how a Russian president's security is selected from the FSO, the Federal Protective Service. Generally, in this role, Russian president's bodyguards need to be extremely tall, with a height of 5 feet 11 to 6 feet 3 inches. Their age usually does not exceed 35. Now, talking about how he is part of Russia's Federal Protective Service, Putin's bodyguards are selected from the Federal Protective Service, the FSO. That's obvious, which is an elite unit tasked with ensuring the president's safety at every moment. Whether he is in Kremlin or eating in far Siberian village, even going to toilets in a foreign tour, their duty is to keep eyes on the president at every single moment. Talking about FSO selection, we must consider this man into consideration, Viktor Zolotov, because historically Zolotov has had the closest and most powerful relationship with Putin's protection system, and he remained loyal to Putin since 1997. It was for a time that Zolotov was responsible for observing the protection team at certain moments.
Because I was the one to deal with my security personally. I do my job. And the security officers do theirs.
Now, whoever are the persons behind this selection, the selection criteria of Putin's bodyguards are very reasonable. They have to ensure even a fly cannot enter into Putin's domain. And even if a single person touches him, they must react like paranoia. You see, these are not ordinary security personnel. They undergo intense selection and specialized training before they ever get near Putin. Bodyguards are part of a leader's inner circle. Historically, the Tsars used to keep them, and the Ottomans also used to keep their famous janissaries, who helped expand the state. But the training is not that simple as you imagine. They have to go through 5 years in the FSO Academy. Their intense training requires communication, information security, and of course, combat skills. Besides the verbal mandatories, they must acquire material capabilities like convoy protection, sniper, overwatch, and close-quarter battle. Just having some physical stamina is not enough unless you enrich your psychological profile. Because in the action field, bodyguards are needed to give paranoid attention to every detail. Otherwise, your job won't just gone, you'll be found unsubscribed by Putin's men in the Russia's Far East. And the last option for the selection is the background. I mean, never ever think if you are a German and will get the job of Putin's bodyguards. No, that won't happen. Even if you are a diehard fan of Putin's, you have to be extremely Russian for this post. Only then they make it into the elite presidential security service of Vladimir Putin. Now, what does Anton have to do with all of these information? Wherever Putin goes, summits, arrivals, meetings, Anton appears almost instantly, as if the bodyguards are not any detached souls. They fell for an unusual connection to the leaders. This has turned him into an online sensation, with many asking, is this man can become the next Russian president? Now, that kind of question is a serious issue to raise, because everybody cares about that question, especially when Putin refers to the younger generations to lead the country after him. Now, whoever becomes the president, it's a very favorite media gossip, and people like to take part in that particular thing. One thing viewers notice about Anton and other bodyguards is how consciously they scan crowd and the surroundings, even when appearing explicitly calm. This level of situational awareness is key to protecting any heads of states. No matter how relaxed a setting appears on camera, their eyes need to be always roaming every single angle. And sometimes, they need to do it purposefully, even when no threats appear nearby. Do you know why they intentionally do that? Write down in the comments section. Anyway, they carry some special equipment that also proved very psychological. They instill momentum in the bodyguard's overall performance, which you can say also a part of the mind game. These briefcases are not ordinary bags. They often contain shielding and protective tools designed for immediate emergencies. And the umbrellas, they have the capabilities to shield what public throws, or even bars, bullets from rooftop or any other angles. And finally, the Russian president's car, which is like super protected, the enemies cannot dare to think of piercing it through a normal way. And then the foreign travel moments. Now eventually, if you are this far as a Putin's bodyguard, you are very reliable. It's not just ceremonial now. He is with Putin on very higher risk foreign trips, where the security risk and international scrutiny are the highest. This includes trips to regions with heightened tension or political uncertainty, situations where elite protection truly matters. So if you see any guards circling Putin with foreign travels, definitely he is the most trusted one. Now, is this a kind of trust on another level? I mean, who can be the next Putin after Putin in Russia? There are already names in like Dmitry Patrushev, Dmitry Medvedev, Alexei Demon, but look what Putin says in the meantime about succession.
A new generation of young managers and responsible people will be able to take on responsibility upon themselves for Russia.
And in the younger generation, there are names like Dmitry Kovalev and Anton himself. And this also means a hype that people are too interested in Putin's inner circle. But no matter how curious they are, the way of succession remains publicly unavailable, which is critical for anyone in Putin's security circle where the best protection is the invisibility. Again, anyway, back to the topic, but bodyguards don't move alone. They move with a network, which is deeply interconnected, from the streets to the rooftops and with the controlled room. So obviously, it is not a one-man focus. Anton doesn't work alone. He's part of a network that includes intelligence operatives, tech monitoring, aerial drone surveillance, and multiple layers of protection. Even sometimes they have to connect with the foreign security hand-to-hand. So next time you see him beside Putin, think that behind him are dozens more agents and layers of shielding. This places them among the most elite protective professionals in the world. And finally, loyalty over everything else. More than skill or muscle, what defines bodyguards like Anton is absolute loyalty. There is a fundamental in this security. These bodyguards are not only sworn to protect Russia, but they are bound to protect Vladimir Putin himself. I mean, if you tell them, in case of choosing one between Russia and Vladimir Putin, they may surprise you by saying the name of the president anyhow. In a world of politics and risk, trust is everything, and Putin's circle is built on that principle. Even if it's the matter of high risk between Putin and the bodyguards, they have to shield Putin. And if moments come, they have to choose Putin's life over their own life. So mark the situation and place the value the bodyguards create near Putin's inner circle, whether they are inside the country or making out on a foreign tour. Tell us what has become the most notable reason recently that made presidential security more fundamental than ever. Tell us if you also believe Putin has the best security in the world.